Now we're coming to one of the most important sales aids that we've made for the dealers. When we first came out with these, we put them out in the field probably about 12 years ago. And this is a miniature countertop, exactly the way that we make our custom Corian countertops with a cove backsplash. And this particular sales aid, there's a few things that are important. First of all, when Vermont Solid Surface makes a countertop, the standard backsplash that we use is 4 inches. We do not use these machines that miter the front edge and they fold them down and miter in the back and it folds up to give you your backsplashes. When you use that kind of a machine, you're limited to the height of your backsplash. What we do is we have a 4-inch high backsplash. On the backsplash, it also has, if you can see it here, there's a 1/2-inch scribe. So when we put this up against the wall, now if the wall's a little bit uneven, we can kind of scribe it to make it fit the wall and you get a truly custom fit. Not everybody does it that way. There's a lot of ways within Corian to cut corners and to save a little bit of money. We've chosen to not do that, so people are recognizing the kind of work that Vermont Solid Surface does, and it's truly custom work. Some of the other things about the way that we do our countertops. Our front edge, everybody has an 1.5-inch front edge. A lot of people, like I said, have machines that it bevels it from underneath and you can fold down the front edge, giving you only a 1/2-inch thick piece. What we do is we cut strips of Corian that are 1 inch wide, we glue them together and we build up that front edge. It's a small thing, but it's an item that gives a lot of extra strength to the front of the Corian. The inside corners of Corian on all our countertops has a 1-inch radius, unless of course the customer would like a different style. You always have to have a roundness to the inside corner when you're dealing with Corian, because that is the way it's going to be made according to the DuPont specifications. But we put ours as a 1-inch radius. But sometimes a customer might have a shaker style kitchen and they would want a different corner on the inside, slightly less of a radius. The same thing with the outside. Our outside radius is again a 1-inch radius as a standard, but we can make that whatever. And when you're dealing with an outside corner in Corian, it does not matter the diameter. If you wanted that a full circle, that is not going to change the price for us at all. You don't get having a bigger, you only get charged by the amount of material that you use. That is a very big deal, especially if you're out price shopping. So keep that in mind when you're talking to your clients. One of the other things that we do is, if you look at the edge of this particular countertop, you're seeing it is completely, it's all Corian. A lot of fabricators, again, in an effort to cut corners, they will take their countertop and they will run it and leave it a 1/2-inch thick. Then when they come up to an appliance, they don't do anything. They just run what they call the perimeter support, which is the wood, right up to the front edge. And then it will go up against the sink, the stove, or whatever it might be. The countertop is going to hold up all right. At some point, if people want to take their stove out, they're going to see the runoff and boilovers on their stove that they had, but they'll also see the crud on the countertop. With the Corian, you can clean that up nice and easy. If it was just wood there, it would all be stained and it would look kind of cruddy forever when you put the thing back. You won't see it probably, but you will know it's there. So we kind of put a nice, what we call an appliance edge, so you can always clean it and it will always look nice. The perimeter support. That's the wood that goes underneath your countertop. It's mounted right to the Corian, and then it goes along the back wall of your cabinets and the front, and then in certain spots it comes across to give it the support it needs for your countertop to set on top of the cabinets. Corian countertops do not drop over the front edge like they used to make them years and years ago on cabinets. It sets on top. So what we use is we use 2 layers of 1/2-inch plywood, and those pieces of plywood have 5 layers each in those plywood, so it's a good rugged plywood. Many people just use what they call an MDF board. That's okay, by the way DuPont says it can be made, that's okay to make it that way, but the MDF board by itself does not have the same strength as 2 layers of plywood together. So when we're taking this countertop out of our truck and bringing it into the house, it has some structural support right to the countertop just because of the perimeter support. So it's another small thing. Nobody's going to see it, but it makes a difference. We know it's there, and when we're done with it, we know we've made a good countertop for somebody. The cove. What we do when we make a cove backsplash is we have our deck, we have a piece of Corian that goes right in the corner, and then we have our backsplash that comes up. We glue those pieces all together, and then we run our cove right along the back to give it the nice cove, and then we hand sand it. If it had an inside corner to that backsplash, it would also be coved right here in the corner. Again, another little item that many fabricators cut corners on because it's a lot harder to do an inside cove vertical than it is to just miter that where the 2 backsplashes come together and glue it. But the way that it looks when it's all done is incredible. So we give you that little extra styling that you get with a Vermont Solid Surface Countertop. Thank you.